Okay, so hey there guys. So today's video is going to be a talk through tutorial slash get ready with me with the Too Faced Natural Eyes collection. So if you guys know, this is the second launch of the Natural Eyes palette. This is when they did the tin packaging, and I have the second edition of the palette. I love this packaging. It's so beautiful. But they also expanded the line and relaunched the Natural Eyes and Natural Matte palette again, and they came out with a natural face palette, and they also came out with a bunch of lipsticks. So I picked up the natural face palette and also the lipstick, and I decided to do a video on it because I was planning to use the Too Faced Natural Eyes palette anyway this week, that I was like, it would be a really good video to film, to just film the whole collection together. So I'm just going to take out the face palette and I'll show you guys the whole packaging deal after I actually use it, but I am going to be using it as a mirror because the mirror in here is awesome. So I'm getting ready for work, and it's actually like 10 in the morning. I know I'm tired, you guys, but and I haven't gotten ready this early in quite a while. So I made my coffee. This is a breakfast blend, and I always put lactate in it so it's sweeter and I don't have to add as much sugar. So I'm just going to start doing my eyes, but I'm getting ready for work because I have work at 11:30. So I'm not going to be filming every single part in this video. I'm only going to be filming the parts where I use Too Faced products because that's what you guys want to see. You don't have to see me do my foundation the whole time. I'm just going to tell you what I'm doing. So first I'm just going to go in with a transition shade. I'm just going to go in with ColourPop's Firefly, and then we'll jump into the palette. Alright. So I just put in my transition shade in my crease. It's just a very natural, everyday eyeshadow, and I love it just to have it as a base to blend other eyeshadows. And also before this, I did prime my eyes with my Smashbox primer, photo finish primer, and then I set it with the MAC Merlot Skin Finish Natural in the shade medium because I'm trying to use this up. So I've been using it every day for the past week. I'm almost done with it. I think I'll be done with it very soon, but I'm trying to hit complete pan on it. So anyway, now we're going to jump into the Natural Eyes palette. So this is the Too Faced Natural Eyes palette. That's just what it's called. I thought it had some fancier name, but that's what it is. Okay, so this is the older edition. And if you guys know, or if you guys saw, that they did repackage this palette. So these are all the original colors. But I wasn't going to go out and buy a new palette if I already have this one. I might at some point if I feel like this palette needs to be replaced, but I still feel like this palette is not dried out. It's still completely fine. This is one of my first Too Faced palettes anyway. And eyeshadow palettes do expire, but you know, most people tend to keep eyeshadow palettes in their collection longer than anything else because they don't want to get rid of them. They want to use them for as long as possible, but for now this still performs pretty well, so I'm not going to pick up the new one anytime soon. Maybe the end of the year or something. And I use this palette a lot. I love this palette. It's one of my go-to natural palettes. I'm going to go in with the shade Nudie first, and this is such a beautiful everyday crease shade. So I'm going to go in with that. And I'm going to use the mirror for this. Look at this packaging. I can't wait to talk to you guys about the packaging. So I'm going to just throw that in my crease. And as you guys can see, I'm filming in my room again because I am just addicted to filming in my room because you guys can actually see what I'm doing and I don't have to be getting up constantly to check my makeup. I'm just sitting down, and it's not half as much work as sitting on the bathroom floor or using the bathroom mirror and putting, oh, I just dipped into Cashmere Bunny. I don't want that shade yet. But yeah, I usually do the same look all the time with this palette. This is my go-to look with it. So I just do this look every time because I always know it's going to work. Do you guys rotate certain palettes, but you still do the same look with them because you're I haven't done this look in a while. I'm just going to do the same look I always do. Or do you think that's more being in a rut and not being stepping out of your comfort zone? Let me know, because I do that. I'll do the same look with this palette every time I use it because I love how it turns out. And also because I'm trying to hit pan on a certain shimmery eyeshadow that I will be putting all over my lid. And I literally use it on my lid every time I use this palette. But I haven't used this palette in a while, maybe like a few weeks. And I always have Too Faced palettes in my rotation. Even though I've told you guys before that I'm not like the hugest fan of Too Faced now because of the whole peach palette collection thing, which I'll probably get more into at some point. But I did say a lot about it in my anti-haul if you guys have seen that. I've only done one on my channel. I have to film another one at some point. But I have so many pre-recorded videos, including this one, that I just wasn't the biggest fan of their brand anymore. And it sucks like when you kind of lose belief or lose your like for a certain brand, because it's like Too Faced was one of my first brands that I really fell in love with a few years ago. And because I was very late to the makeup game, I didn't start really collecting makeup until I was 26, and now I'm 29. So I've been a big makeup collector for the past almost 4 years now. And I just thought that they were like pretty shady when they came out with the peach palette. I just didn't like that I kind of just stopped buying from the brand after like last March. So I haven't bought anything from them for like probably a year. So I've been on a no-buy from their brand for a year. So that's a long time. But this just really intrigued me, this palette. So I wanted to pick it up. So now we're done with that. I just want to make sure it's really blended. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Okay. So now we're going, I just feel like not enough is sticking to this part of my eye. I have trouble in this area for some reason. Like, sometimes this area just does not want to pick up pigment. It's always like this one part of my eye right here. And for some reason, it doesn't even pick up primer. It's so freaking annoying. Like, when I prime my eyes, it doesn't pick up the primer. I don't know why. So eyeshadow is a little bit wonky over there. But everybody has those kind of parts on their face. I'm going to be sipping my coffee a lot because your girl needs to wake up. So now we're going to dip into Cashmere Bunny, and I'm going to use that to define my crease. This is like an exception for me to like this palette a lot because I'm a huge warm tones fan, and this palette is very, very cool toned. But I just love the mattes in here so much. There's only like 4 mattes in here, but Too Faced mattes, when they're good, they're good. Like, that's why I fell in love with this palette so much. And that's why I love their chocolate bar formula. And a lot of people said that that's how their chocolate bar gold palette was. And I was really intrigued on getting it, but then I was just like, I don't really want it. Like, I feel like they just, I would never use it. I'm sure it was great, excuse me, I'm sure it was great quality, but I just was not really feeling the brand to pick it up myself, and I knew if I did get it, I wasn't really going to use it. So I'm really just trying to become a smarter consumer and really just pick up things I know I'm going to use and love. Sometimes I don't always get it right, but usually now, if I don't like a certain product from a high-end brand, I will go return it. I will not keep it. Even though, like, for some reason I feel guilty about returning it because I'm like, oh, I'm not keeping everything in my haul. I feel like that's kind of messed up. But I shouldn't feel that way because it's my money. And if I want to return something, I should just not feel guilty about it. Sorry, for some reason I got a little tickle. So now I just return it. So now I'm defining the crease with this shade on both sides. I'm really just going to film my whole eye look so you guys can really see what I'm doing. I'm not going to skip over everything. Oh, I forgot to grab makeup wipes, but I'll just clean this up after I'm done with my eyeshadow. I'm not really doing a very involved look. This is a pretty easy look that most people could just follow along with. If you do, thank you so much. And also yesterday, I don't know if you guys even keep track of my channel that much, but I hit 300 subscribers yesterday, and that's been a goal of mine for a long time. And I know it's not anything too big, but for me it is, because for some reason I've been getting a lot of subscribers for the past week. I got 10 more subscribers in this past week. So if I get 10 subscribers every week, that would be pretty awesome. I don't know if it's just because I've been uploading more and more content, but I'm trying to keep my content relevant, like this video. But it's awesome, so thank you so much. I was thinking about making a thank you video for it, but it's like literally been like years in the making just to make that. But thank you, I really appreciate it. So see how cool toned it is in the crease, but they still blend out so easily that I just really love this look, and I kind of like became more of a fan of cool tones because of this palette. So now I'm going to put this beautiful deep brown shade called Sexpresso. I don't know why it's called that, whatever, and I'm going to put that on the outer corners to deepen up the outer corners. And again, with brown outer corner shades, you really don't need much of it at all because they're always so pigmented. If they're a good brown matte, it's going to be pigmented. So I'm going to just put this on the outer corners. But yeah, I didn't eat breakfast yet. I just made my coffee because I knew if I didn't make coffee, I was going to be kind of dead during this video. I literally woke up, washed my face, pet my dogs, and got dressed and sat down and filmed this video because I really wanted to film it because I'm really not going to get a chance to film it at any other points this week. So I wanted to film it today, and plus I was already planning on wearing all this stuff today that I was like, might as well film it. So I'm just deepening out the outer V with this shade. So I'm kind of just like making these kind of motions. So I kind of just really just stay right here in my crease, and I just move my brush back and forth very slightly. And that's what I do for my outer V. I know a lot of people have like different techniques for their outer V, but that's all I do for it. Some people like do swirling motions. Some people do what I do and just brush it back and forth. I find that that's kind of just the easiest for me. I don't really swirl my brush, honestly. I know a lot of people tell you to because it helps blend the eyeshadows more, but I don't know. I've just never really done it too much. Besides being a little bitch for me. I don't know why. Sorry. But it's like not blending properly. Let's try turning this way. But I'm just glad that I finally got the hang of filming in my room so you guys can really see what I'm doing, because I feel like when I filmed in the bathroom, you guys could not see what I was doing. So I'm not going to cut this off until I finish the eyes, because again, I just want you guys really to see what I'm doing on the eyes, because that's like obviously one of the main focuses of the video. I'm going to skip over like foundation and concealer and stuff because you guys don't need to see all of that. Okay, so I think that's good for the outer V. Now I'm going to put on my lid shade, and I'm going to use this shade called Silk Teddy. It's like my favorite, one of my all-time favorite shimmery shadows, and I'm trying to hit pan on it. I have like such a huge dip in it, but I swear to God, like Too Faced eyeshadows are so hard to hit pan on. It's insane. But I use it every time I use this palette, and I still haven't hit pan on it. It's crazy. But I'm not a person that uses a same eyeshadow palette every single day. Like I've said to you guys before, I need variety or I get really bored. So I try and just use it as much as I can. So I am going to, again, prime my lids with the NYX Glitter Primer. I just find this is kind of a little bit of an essential step for me now because it does help certain eyeshadows or certain transfer-prone powdery eyeshadows to not transfer. So I'm just going to do that, and then we'll do the lid. Alright, and now I'm going to go in with Silk Teddy. I just find when I do the glitter primer that it really helps my lid shade stick to my lid and not transfer half as much as when I don't wear it. And this is a very transfer prone eyeshadow, so I've been kind of using it with every single eyeshadow that I know is very transfer prone to test it, because I'm like obsessed with it now to do that. So I'm just going to take it on my, I'm obsessed with it to see if certain eyeshadows are going to transfer as much as others, so I use it all the time because I want to like test it out. thoroughly and see like how it really works. All right, so now I have it on my lids, on my finger, and now I'm just gonna apply it to my lid. That's what I meant to say. Ooh, wow, that is so pigmented with the glitter primer. Wow. That's why I love using it so much, because it makes the eyeshadow more pigmented too. That is so pretty. Holy crap. But I swear, like Too Faced shadows are like the never-ending eyeshadows. That's why I think they're a great investment for a palette, because they just never end. A lot of people say it's very hard to hit pan on Too Faced eyeshadows. And I definitely agree, because I use this eyeshadow all the freaking time. But probably not half as much as somebody else that's like trying to pan a palette. Alright, and then I'm going to use it on this side. Like seriously, still not even close. But it's such a gorgeous eyeshadow. It's like a beautiful like frosty pink eyeshadow. And again, once I do this, I don't really find myself to wet the eyeshadow because it's already so pigmented with the glitter primer. And I find that when I wet my eyeshadow, it doesn't really do much sometimes. It might be just the brushes that I'm using. Or it might be just because my brushes are dirty. But I do always use the spot cleaner to wipe them off. Alright, so I think that is good. See, I didn't have to go in the bathroom if I didn't just get eyeshadow underneath my eyes. But whatevs. Alright, so that's pretty much the lid. I could have went in with another eyeshadow like on the center. I think I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to take this shade Push Up and I'm going to pop this on the center. I haven't used this eyeshadow in a long time, but wow, that's super dry. That's probably why I haven't used it. So I'm going to pop that right here. Oh, that's so pretty. That's like a beautiful rose gold. Definitely going to take more of that and try and build it up. Man, I should have used this eyeshadow. It's so pretty. Not that I don't like the Silk Teddy one, but I kind of like want a little bit of variety today. Because I just use Silk Teddy all the freaking time. But this is really, really pretty. I've been doing this a lot with my eyeshadow, wearing 2 lid shades, just so I can use like certain eyeshadows more. Alright, so I am going to wet that one. We're almost done. We're just wetting this eyeshadow and then putting a brow bone highlight on the brow bone, and that's it. And then I'll do my face off camera. So for this, I mean, I'm going to show like a couple of steps for my face and that's it. So now I'm going to pop this on with a brush just to get it to be a little bit more pigmented. Alright, so that's pretty much it for that. I think that looks pretty good. I just feel like I kind of lost some of the Silk Teddy shade. So now I'm just going to reapply it just a little bit with my finger. Alright, that's definitely better. I don't know why it gets lost on the inner part of my lid. Alright, that should be okay. Alright, and then for the brow bone highlight, I'm just going to take the shade Heaven in here, which is like, oh, sorry for blinding you. This is like the only brow bone highlight in here anyway. And again, this is such a beautiful soft soft matte shade. And I just need to find my brow bone brush. Sorry about that. I'm just going to take that and put it up here. I'm just going to use the mirror in here. It's not like I really need such an involved mirror for my brow bone. Alright, and then I'm just going to take my brush with no product and I'm just going to blend out the crease a little. Hopefully I finish this video in like 25 minutes because I do want to eat breakfast. I mean, I'm not like starving, but I need to have time to eat breakfast today because sometimes I don't and I just bring something to work. So now I'm just going to clean up my under eyes and I'll be right back. Alright, so I just finished priming my face. I just used my NYX primer spray and the Smashbox Photo Finish Foundation Primer. And now I'm just going to go in with my foundation. I'm just going to tell you guys the one I'm using, apply it, and then I'll just apply it off camera. So I haven't used this foundation in a hot minute, so I wanted to use it today. This is the Makeup Forever Ultra HD Invisible Cover Stick. I actually have been rotating a lot of foundations lately, but I have not touched this one in a little while, so I wanted to whip it out today. I wanted to use, this is the shade Y225. I wanted to use my Burberry foundation, but I was like, I haven't used this one in a while, so I gotta use this guy. I really like how this just, you know, applies. I'm not sure if I love this foundation still, but it's definitely, I definitely love this one more than the Lancome one that I picked up or the Hourglass. So now I'm going to apply it with just a sponge and I'll be right back. Alright, so I just finished applying my foundation and it looks a tad, actually it looks pretty good. So I'm just going to conceal, so I'm just going to show you guys what I'm using. So this is the Catrice Cosmetics Liquid Camouflage Concealer in the shade Fair, I believe. I'm also trying to use this up as the mirror is falling. Can this actually stay? But I freaking love this concealer anyway. I use it all the time. That's a little bit too much, Caitlin. And then I'm just going to blend that out off camera. Alright, sorry, I kind of got a little bit on my face, so I had to get rid of that. So anyway, I'm going to smudge these two shades on my lower lash line. Just right here. I feel like sometimes my lower lash line takes a lot of building up. I feel like you either put on too much or too little. I probably have to find a new bronzing brush and a new lower lash line brush. So if you guys have any suggestions, please let me know. I love this brush for the inner corners though. It's freaking so bomb for that. But the lower lash line, I kind of want something a little bit more fluffier and a little bit more flexible to just fluff on the lower lash line. This gets the job done, but it's just slower. Like I want something where I can just throw on something on my lower lash line just to like be out the door faster, you know? Because I feel like, again, this takes like a lot of build up to do this. But it really, like I said before, it really is crazy how much of a difference it makes when you do your lower lash line as opposed to not doing it. It really does make a difference in your look. Alright, so once we're done with that, now we're going to pop on an inner corner highlight. So I'm just going to take the Honey Pot color, this gold shade, and I'm going to pop that on my inner corners. I love this shade. And it's a really beautiful gold. Why is there so much crap in my inner corners right now? And I'm going to do the same on this side. Sorry for my dogs barking. They love to bark in the morning. They literally bark at everything in the morning because they had just woken up like an hour ago. Alright. So now I'm going to do my lower lash line, waterline, and mascara, and then we will move on to the face. Alright, so I just did my waterline and my mascara, and I also did set my face with my MAC powder. So now we're going to jump into this gorgeous palette. So this is the Too Faced Natural Face Palette. This is a blush, bronzing, and highlight veil palette. Highlight, blush, and bronzing veil face palette. I can't speak. So this is what the packaging looks like. It's such gorgeous packaging. This is so heavy in your hand. So like I said, it comes out with this outer sleeve, which looks like this. So beautiful and romantic. And then it comes in this actual box, which is this beautiful like reflective gold box. And then it comes with just the actual palette. Like it's not wrapped in anything, and there's no like clear overlay in the actual palette. But it opens up like this. There's like a little clasp on the outside, and it opens up like that. And this is the actual palette. So it comes with a huge mirror, and then these are the shades inside. So it comes with 2 highlights, 2 blushes, and 2 bronzers. Sorry, it's like really reflective because it's gold packaging. But this palette is really beautiful. I can't wait to use the highlights in here. I haven't used the highlighters yet. I have tried out the bronzer ones, and I've tried out both the blushes ones. So now I'm going to bronze up the skin with this shade called Sunny Honey, which is right here. It's like the matte warm bronzer in the palette, and the design on these are so beautiful. So I'm going to use my Too Faced Bronze Bookie brush. I'm just going to wipe it off a little bit, and I'm going to just kind of dip in there, not too much, just a little bit, and I'm going to tap it off, blow on it, and then I'm just going to bronze up my skin. God, I really can't see anything right now. But it's a really nice tone. These like powders really are super buttery. They really remind me of the chocolate formula, like the Cocoa Contour Kit. But I think this one has like coconut in it or something. It's just silky smooth, which I really like. Obviously, like a lot of people want their powders to be silky smooth on their skin. So see how it adds just a really nice light natural bronze? It's really pretty. I'm going to build it up just a tiny bit. And then I'm going to put it on my forehead, if I could see the actual mirror. So just right there, and also here. Duh. Oh my god, this mirror is going to drive me nuts. It kind of falls back if you don't like place it properly. I have to pee already because I was drinking a lot of coffee, and for some reason my nose is running. But you guys have to obviously know this for your everyday life. Yeah, now I'm hungry. I don't know what I'm going to eat. I think I'm going to have waffles. And I also have to pack a snack, then brush my teeth, and then I have to do my lips. So I'm trying to like finish up this part of the video. Sorry, I accidentally pressed the button with the mirror because the mirror fell down again. So I'm just going to bronze up the chin area and a little bit down my neck. Just like that. I still feel like there's not enough bronzer on my forehead. I can't really see anything. Oh my god. I'm just a mess sometimes, I swear. My hair's so messy right now. Alright, so that's pretty much it for the bronzer. My nose is really runny, sorry. Yeah, I think it looks pretty good. So now we're going to jump into blush. I'm just going to take my blush brush. Need a little bit more coffee. So I'm going to dip into this shade called Pink Sand, and I'm going to use that as my blush today because this shade is just too pink for me right now, and this shade like goes perfectly with the look. So I'm going to take that. I have used this blush once, and it was really pretty on the face. So I'm just going to blend that in. But what I find with this foundation that I don't love is that it kind of like picks up the product too much. but today it actually looks really good. But sometimes it can look very textured, and like products don't apply the best on this foundation, and I feel like the product like moves around a lot when you apply it. Oh my god, my hair drives me insane. I don't know how people do tutorials with their hair in their face. I don't get it. It makes me cringe so much because I absolutely hate when my hair is in my face. That's why I always put it up, because then you can like just focus on doing your makeup rather than worrying about your hair. So I'm just going to make sure that is nice and blended. I feel like there's still not enough on this side. There we go, that's better. And a little bit more here. All right. I don't know, sometimes my blush just does not turn out the way I want it to. All right, so that is the blush, and it goes on really nicely. It's a nice everyday blush color. It's not too pigmented, so I really like that. Sometimes I don't want something super pigmented for every day, and I feel like it's a nice buildable blush. These aren't like super pigmented blushes, so I really like that. So now I'm going to dip into the highlighters, and I'm so excited. I'm just going to mix both of them together. So the highlighters are Starlight and Satin Sheets. So I'm going to mix both of them. Let's see how they apply first. I'm just going to take Starlight real quick, and I'm going to see how it looks. I really like the Too Faced Candlelight highlighter, though, so I have a feeling I'm going to like these too, so let's see. Ooh. Wow, that's like duochrome-y. Ooh, that's pretty. It's like a peachy duochrome pink. That's pretty, I like that. And now let's apply Satin Sheets over it to give it a really nice pop. That is a nice highlighter. It's like a natural, like, candlelit glow. That's pretty. So now we're going to do it on this side. And I'm applying it with my Anastasia brush. I kind of suck in my cheekbones for every step for my cheeks because I just find that the product applies a little bit easier that way. But that is super pretty. I actually really like it. It's kind of super pink on my skin tone, the Starlight, but I like it. Whoa, look at that. That's so pretty, right? Like the two together, like really, really nice. All right, I'm just gonna apply a little bit more to this side because I feel like I have more on the other side. See how, wow, that's nice. It's not like super bam in your face, but it's definitely enough to build up on. And I like that. I mean, for me, I'm all about an intense highlight, but this is probably as subtle as I'll go, besides like the Laura Mercier matte baked highlighter. Or like, alright, so I am definitely going to swirl my brush more. Sorry, I accidentally pressed the pause button again. So now I'm going to spray my brush and wet it with some NYX Primer Spray. NYX Dewy Skin Mist, not the primer spray. And I'm going to intensify it more. So let's see how these are wet. That's really pretty. Wow, look at that. I knew I was going to like this because I love the Candlelight highlighter from them, and I've been wanting to try more Too Faced highlights. I don't know why they don't really come out with that many. They did come out with a diamond powder recently, but I'm not interested in trying that. I was definitely more interested in these. And they usually don't come out with that many individual highlighters, so, but they have a good highlighting formula. Oh, that's really pretty. So yeah, that's the highlight. It's really, really nice. I'm really liking it. It looks gorgeous on the skin, like not texturized. It's like a really unique color. It's like a peachy pink. And I really don't own anything like that, so I think that's really gorgeous. It's actually even more pink in person. It looks more like a champagne gold on camera. Oh, I got like a little itch here. All right, so that's pretty much it for that. I just really am impressed with this palette. I had a feeling I was gonna like it, and I just love the packaging alone. But again, I shouldn't just buy a product because of the packaging. So I'm just gonna finish up my face, and then I will tell you guys my full thoughts on everything once I'm done. But I'm just gonna quickly finish getting ready and eat some breakfast, and then I will come back and do my lips. Alright guys, so I went and ate and everything, and now I'm just going to do my lips. So I'm going to prime my lips with my NYX lip primer first, and then I'm just going to line super quick. I feel like I need a new primer though, because my lips are kind of dried out today. And this is like on its last legs. So I'm just going to line my lips with my MAC Subculture lip pencil. I have to like be out the door right after this, so I might come back home and film the outro. It's like 11:17 right now, and I have to leave in like 3 minutes. I don't know why my lips are so chapped. It's annoying me. Alright, and then for the lip color, I'm going to go in with the Too Faced Natural Nudes Intense Color Coconut Butter Lipstick in the shade Skinny Dippin'. This is their new line of lipsticks, and they came out with 6 different shades, and this is the shade I decided to get. So this is the packaging. It's really pretty, and then this is what the lipstick looks like. Of course, it's a typical everyday nude shade. I'm just going to apply that. It has a really nice buttery formula, like they say. It's very creamy, pigmented, goes on really nicely. I've always been a big fan of Too Faced lip products that I had no problem picking this up. And I really like the shape of the lipstick because it makes it easy to apply it. This is actually the first time I'm wearing this lipstick out. I did like whip it out of the box and try the formula when I got it, but I haven't worn it out yet. And that's pretty much it. Alright you guys, so this is pretty much the finished look. I really love how everything turned out. I have to go run to work, so I will finish up my thoughts on everything. I just wanted to show you the final look really quickly. Fresh and new, and not like totally like crazy later, because I might like fade a little bit, but I'm obsessed with this highlighter. It's so pretty. The blush is pretty. I feel like it could be a little bit more pigmented for me, but off camera it looks really nice. On camera it looks a little bit lighter than it actually is in person. And the bronzer is just a beautiful, smooth formula. And of course, I love the eyeshadow palette. I've been hearing that the older palette is better than the newer one. But I'm going to go run to work, and then I will show everything and really talk about it later. Alright guys, so I just wanted to film a quick intro when I got back home. I'm so tired. I had a pretty long day at work. I didn't really get a break. Like, I don't get a break at 5 hours. But this is how my makeup looks now. I just kind of wanted to update you guys on how it held up throughout the day. It held up really nicely. The highlighter still looks really pretty. It's kind of more like a straight up sheen now, which is really pretty. I feel like the blush kind of faded though. But I love this palette. I think it's so pretty. And it doesn't have to be super pigmented for me in order to love it. I just think that this looks, again, very natural because it is a natural palette. So you're not going to get like packed pigment in this palette, which I think is nice. So the blush still looks pretty good. Actually better in person. It kind of faded more on this side than it did on this side for some reason. and the highlight still looks really nice. It actually looks better in the bathroom because it was like really nice and reflective still. And of course I love the eyeshadow, duh. But the lipstick, it's super comfortable. So comfortable to wear. Really nice and creamy. It just kind of wears off the center of the lips for some reason every time I reapply it. When I reapply it, it kind of just wears off. So maybe I just have to apply it a little bit lower. And plus I was sipping water throughout the whole day. So yeah, this is really pretty. I don't know if my mom's asking me to walk the dogs or Cameron, but I'm not doing it. So yeah, that's pretty much it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this look. I actually did record this look before I post my VIB sale haul. This video is going to go up after that, so I'm recording it before because my discount for the VIB sale started today because I'm only VIB now, not VIB Rouge. So I picked up a couple of things from Sephora. Everything else I got from Ulta though, which is the lipstick and the face palette, and I got a few other things that I will record my haul tomorrow. So now I'm going to go take my makeup off and take a shower, and my boyfriend's coming. So please like and subscribe, follow me on all my social media. And again, thank you so much for 300 subscribers. It really means the world to me, and I'm glad that more people are watching my videos, and I hope you guys enjoyed this one. I'm still trying to stay relevant and new and film on a newer collection. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Bye guys, and please let me know if you have any other questions, and if you guys are picking up any of this stuff from the Natural Face Collection or anything lately. I always love to hear about new products. So yeah, that's it. Bye.